Can we talk about that feeling where you always feel like you're behind and everybody else isn't? Hi, my name is Megan, and thank you for coming to my channel. I talk about things where it's about mom life, being a wife, um, but first and foremost, loving Jesus, and raising a family and life in general, and just humorous things as well. Right now, I'm sitting in my trailer because it's awesome, and I get to have my own moment without screaming kids, which I love my kids. Don't get me wrong, I surely do. They bring a lot of joy to me and in my life, in my husband's life. So, all right. So, I actually got questions that I've kind of researched up, and I ask myself these questions, and then you guys listen. That's pretty much how simple it is. I'm very good at talking with people, but talking on a camera is kind of hard because it's like you want to look at yourself, but then you want to look at the camera, then you want to look at yourself, and it's like there's nobody there sitting, but really you are sitting and watching. So thank you for giving me, time, and thank you for your patience as well. Like I said, this is super new to me. But yeah, so here's the questions. So why do I feel like I'm behind compared to everyone else? So yeah, I do. I do have that feeling sometimes. I do feel like I'm behind sometimes, especially like if you're on social media and you're scrolling through and people are on vacations and you're sitting at home doing laundry, or maybe somebody's kid, I don't know, got something and then your kid hadn't gotten there yet, or something, a milestone of some sort, or uh, some type of grade or whatever, and of course you think in your head, oh, am I doing the right thing? Yes, we're doing the right things. We are. And I get caught up in that comparison sometimes, especially like, people, like I said, on social media where you're scrolling through and you see all these like really pretty pictures and people's, you know, out on vacations on these cool islands, or maybe their house looks fantastic, right? Well, that's not my house. That's why I came out on this trailer to do my video. So I'm that type of mom. So yeah, also I do have ADHD if you haven't recognized it yet, but or watched any of my other videos. But yes, I surely do, and I will go down rabbit holes. So anywho, yes, I do feel like I'm behind sometimes, but you know what? We don't need to feel like that. We truly don't, because God has us where He wants us to be, at this time. And hopefully in your situation, it's a good, thing. And if it's not, definitely reach out to get some help. But I just felt led to say that because I don't know everybody's situation at hand, right? So another question I got for myself, and also for you, if you want to answer it in the comments, please, by all means, all these questions are for you as well. So what do I remind myself when comparison creeps in? What do I remind myself as comparison creeps in? Well, right now, I remind myself that life is short. And recently, my grandmother passed a few months ago. God bless her heart. She's hilarious, sweet, sweet lady. But it's crazy because when I was growing up, you think life is, long, you got forever to live and all that. But then you see a family member pass and you're like, oh my gosh, like, dang, life is short, right? Like, wow. And it hits you kind of. So, back to the question, what do I remind myself when comparison creeps in? Well, I remind myself that Jesus loves me and God is patient with me. Jesus is patient with me because I am not perfect at all, by any means, right? Like, nobody's perfect, right? Jesus is perfect. So when comparison does creep in, I believe, I need to just pray about it. I feel like praying is definitely the number one thing as well. Praying about it, getting it like, hey, just saying, dear Lord, please, take this comparison feeling away from me, because why am I comparing? It's not going to do any good. You're yourself the way you should be. So you shouldn't compare yourself. You should be you and who you truly are, and authentic, and your authentic self. All right. Third question, last question. How does my faith help me refocus when I feel stuck? That's a good one. Let me read that again because I ADHD'd it again. How does my faith help me refocus when I feel stuck? Okay. So there's times where like I feel stuck at work. Like maybe I don't know something on Excel and somebody else does, or maybe I don't know something certain something to do on this YouTube channel, but you look at other YouTube channels and they're doing better or whatever. I don't and I don't mean to say that as in a bad thing. I mean to say like, you want to get to that. You want to what am I trying to say? Hold on a second. Skirt. Let's go back to that question. How does my faith help me refocus when I feel stuck? Okay. So back to the YouTube thing. Like this YouTube channel, I think will be really cool. I really do. Like I love to talk to people, and I feel like I've already gained kind of a small community on here. And what I mean by that is I have like, I think it's like 70 some subscribers, and that's like amazing to me because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, somebody actually wants to listen to me. They want to listen to me talk. This is wild. This is great. I love it, So when I feel stuck in making these videos and I'm like, it's not working or I'm not getting many views, I got to think, that God has a plan for me. God has a plan for this YouTube channel. And first and foremost, God has a plan for you. Okay. And so I'm just going to go with God's plan and God's timing. And if he wants this to go further, then by all means, it will. And if it doesn't, that's okay. Because you know what? I think, and I know the biggest thing is that you who are listening to this is, God's plan, I believe. I mean, I really do. So, but yeah, so thanks for watching. And another thing that we got to keep in mind is God's timing doesn't look like my timeline, right? So my timelines are not God's timelines. God has his own timeline with me and with you, right? So if we think, we should be here, working here and being the supervisor of this and all that, that's, God has his own way of doing it, and he will provide. But we have to pray, and we have to stay like consistent and pray and believe and have faith. So I have to keep that in mind as well. I have to check myself as well. So if you're feeling behind, I hope this reminds you that you are right where God can meet you. So don't ever forget that. And thanks for coming to my YouTube channel. Like and subscribe if you like this. Please put in the comments anything you'd like to talk about. I'm all for it. All right. Have a good day. And remember, Jesus loves you. Bye.